So a bit of a summary of our business. We have a mortgage broking business in the ACT. We have 15 on the team in Canberra and additional 7 on the team here in the Philippines with Cloudstaff. We've been in business for the past 13 years and we specialise in doing residential mortgages for Australian property investors. The reason that we decided to go with outsourcing is we're in a growth phase with the company at the moment. We have quite a lofty goal of what we want to do as far as building the business in Australia. And one of the challenges we have is because we're in the ACT is our wage cost is extremely high and training takes so long. So typically a salary in the ACT can be anywhere between $60,000 to $70,000 per annum plus on cost, which takes it well over $100,000. And it takes 6 months to train an assistant to actually be able to process mortgage applications. This is not a sales role, it's purely an administrative role. So the reason we came to the Philippines is because we can put a number of people on. IT is very strong, both in our office and basically across to the Philippines with fibre optics. So it's very easy for them to work in our office from here, and the cost of labour is obviously it's a ratio roughly 6 to 1. So we can put on 6 here for 1 over there, which then allows us to take that money that we were going to spend in Australia and put that onto an income producing salesperson, i.e. a broker, to go out and hunt for more work. And we expand much faster that way with a lot less risk. How did we find Cloudstaff? I did a reconnaissance trip back in December 2013 where I jumped on a tour that visited, we visited 20 BPOs over a 3-day period, and various BPOs doing various different things, as in different cultures and different sizes. Some were very small, some were very large, some were big corporates, some were privately owned, and basically we found Cloudstaff on that trip and came back and saw them again on the back end of that trip for a secondary meeting. The reason we came back to the second meeting was probably just to validate why we wanted to deal with Cloudstaff, because we pinned it down to 2 different BPOs. One was based in Manila, one was obviously Cloudstaff's based, or this office is based in Angeles. I had some concerns about Manila, and those concerns were flooding, electricity issues, and also the many people that work in Manila, it's my understanding, go to Manila because as a career, but then go back to the provinces. Whereas Angeles is more sort of in the provinces, and so people work here as a lifestyle choice, and also there's a good supply of candidates here because of the universities and the likes of that, and it's actually proved to work out really well. So we came back to Cloudstaff. I just wanted to check to make sure that the culture was the same as our culture in the office. I'd heard stories about high turnover of staff in BPOs, and I'd heard Cloudstaff was very low, but I mean, words are only part of it. I really wanted to actually, get to know the CEO a little bit more, and also their account manager at the time, and just make sure we were going to the right place. And of course, how's it all working out? Well, we're 18 months in. We've got 7 on the team here. We started out with 4, and they're a great team. I mean, we love the team dearly, and it's worked out really, really well. We had the challenges at the front end, and those challenges were along the lines of our Canberra office were very concerned that they were going to be losing their jobs, which is to the contrary. We've actually put more staff on in Canberra since we put the Angeles team on. And look, it's worked out really, really well. Really well. It's forced us to be a lot more systems, process driven. And so we've had to look at our systems, what we do, think that through, because we've got to teach other people how to do what we do. But it's the little things like, if I said to someone in Australia, can you name all the banks in the Philippines? Can you tell me all the postcodes in the Philippines? Can you tell me all the provinces in the Philippines? Every other Australian would sort of have no idea. Well, flip that over, come to the Philippines and say to your team over here, okay, I want you to know all the states in Australia, all the postcodes, area codes. They don't know that. So you've got to teach all that. So that you start breaking things down, thinking, I've got to think like them and where they're coming from so they can understand where we're coming from. So it made us really break down into bite-sized bits what we actually do with our business. And from that, we built some great training manuals and videos, which has helped everybody on both sides between the two offices. How do we keep connected to the team? We do a couple of things. First of all, we try and visit probably 3 to 4 times per year, because we do enjoy coming over here. It's a combination of holiday, it's a combination of catch up with the team, and it's always great. So we visit the team here. We also bring the Angeles team to Australia for training, and that's proved to be rewarding for both sides as well. It's also a bit of a treat for them too. The other thing that we do is we've got TVs in both offices with Skype connected, so we can actually see each other. We've got VoIP systems, so we can actually communicate by phone very easily, just by extension. But we can see each other in the offices and wave to each other, and wish happy birthday, all those sort of things. Just all the small things you can do when you've got cameras in both offices. And again, because IT is so strong in both countries, you can do things like that very easy. And that's just a couple of things we do to stay connected. So one of the biggest problems that we faced when we came over and set the second office up was actually, I didn't realise at the time, because obviously I shared the idea with the team back in Canberra, and I said, hey, we're going to open an office over there, they're going to do all our back-end processing for us, and all the data entry stuff that you guys don't like doing, we're going to get the team over there to do all the compliance work, ordering evaluations, generating letters and communications and the likes of that. Was actually getting the buy-in from the Canberra office. That was probably the biggest challenge we had. And I didn't realise it until when we returned back from kicking the team off here, that there was a little bit of resistance. And I mean, it wasn't spoken, but obviously when we had a team at the time, we had about 12 on the team, you could pick up the vibe in the office, in the Canberra office, that they weren't really accepting the team over in the Philippines. So what we did to counter that is we sent the team over in pairs from the Canberra office over here, and then it was funny how they came over here. They engaged with the team in the Philippines, and then when they came back, they had nothing but good news stories to say, and you could just tell that the vibe was changing in the office. Then a couple of months later, we sent another 2 over. This was obviously in a training role, and now we've got strong connectivity between the 2 offices, to the point there's a lot of private emails going on, a lot of social media communication goes on between the 2 offices, and it's just like having a second office. It works so well. But that was the biggest challenge we had, was getting buy-in from the Australian crew. The Angeles team, they were fine. They bought in from day one. So the future, where we're going to go with this, is what we've learned over this last 18 months is that the team here are very, very good at what they do. They're very good at training each other. So we originally started with 4, we now have 7. But the last 3, we didn't train at all. The 4 original team, they trained them. I just feel so connected with the team. They're loyal, they love working, they love to please, they're always happy. I don't think I've ever seen one of the team in a bad mood. Never. And we're talking to them daily, they're always upbeat. Everyone's happy.